Hi there, faithful caregiver. Today we're going to be talking about going on road trips with your loved one that has dementia. And we're also going to be talking about going on airplane trips with your loved one with dementia. I'm not sure at this point if this is going to be just one video or two videos, just depends on how long it takes me to get through this. But I'm going to start with car trips because that's what my mom and my brother did the most. Airplane travel with someone with dementia can be really stressful, but I do have a tip that I just found out yesterday from an airline representative that I think is going to make a big difference in your life. So you'll want to hang around for that if you take your loved one on airplanes. But first of all, car trips. These tips that I'm going to tell you are a lot of them you just do already, but I'm going to kind of go through the procedure of what I did when I was getting ready to send my mom and brother off that eased my mind because they would travel all the way from North Carolina up to Canada. That's a long trip. And one of the things that I did was I had a cousin whose wife took care of elderly people. So what I did was I hired her to help with my mom once they got up home to Canada. That way I knew that at least several times a week mom would be able to get a bath and she would be able to get her clothes straightened out and her clothes washed and everything done that would take a load off of my brother and also take a load off my mind knowing that Susan was there helping take care of her. So do that if at all possible if you're going to a familiar place where you know people that you trust with your loved one. That just helps a tremendous amount. And then let me tell you this. The first thing that I would do when making that reservation, like if you have to stop overnight on your way to wherever it is that you're traveling with your loved one, when you call and make those reservations at the motel, please tell them that your loved one has dementia. Let them be aware of that. And I'll tell you a story about that, something that happened with my mom that made me realize the importance of that as I talk my way through all of these things. Okay, first thing, getting in the car, you're going to want to make sure that they have their blanket that makes them comfortable or a pillow that makes them comfortable. If they have a stuffed animal, anything that gives them comfort, please make sure that that is with them because that's just going to help them as they acclimate to traveling. And then I'm going to back up and say this. When you're packing to take a loved one on a trip, do that when they are asleep or when they're not in the room because, a lot of times if they see some activity going on and you're bustling around and you're doing something like that, and if they're not really deep into dementia, they understand what you're doing. And if you tell them you're packing to go on a trip, they're going to get anxious. A lot of dementia people will get anxious when you tell them that. So do your best just to not even let them see you packing. And I would do it at the time I was living in an apartment. I did mom's packing at my apartment. And then the day of the trip, I just took everything over there. I took her bag and then I took her food bag and everything there that day so that she would not get anxious about it. So that was a big tip to me, was just learning not to pack in front of them and making them wonder what in the world was going on. So the first bag that I always packed, and I packed it for my brother and for my mom, was a bag. And I just, grab any bag that you have like this, just a bag that makes it simple on yourself to put in things that they like. Make sure that when you're traveling that they have food that they like. Even you might want to put something in there that if you take a freezer or an ice chest with you, that they can get when they get to where they're going, a familiar food, because familiar foods mean a lot to people with dementia. So make sure that you do that. And I showed you the bag because it doesn't have to be a fancy bag. You know that already. But I'm going to show you these bags that my daughter gave me, and I wish I had had when Mom was traveling with my brother. Can you see that? These are called Scout bags, S-C-O-U-T. I don't know if you've ever seen them or not, but these bags are really good bags. They're very heavy, and you can wipe them down. That's what I liked about them. And you can throw in whatever you need. Like the food could go in here, but one of the things I want you to pack to make sure you have is like a roll of garbage bags. You can get the little rolls. I think these are like 4-gallon ones. Have these packed in a separate bag, like an individual one of these, your emergency bag, I'll go ahead and talk to you about the emergency bag. Get a small bag that you can put a change of clothing in, one of these bags, and some wipes and things, just in case your loved one has an accident. And that will make it easier on yourself when you get to wherever that you're going to go and get them cleaned up. If you can just grab one little bag that's got those few things in it that you need to get them cleaned up, make sure you've got socks in it. That's going to help you, just feel prepared at least. But always have these, like you can, this is why I like these bags. Look, you can just pop that down in there. If you've got crackers like that, you want something different in there, these bags are wonderful. If I can figure out how to do it, I am an affiliate, an Amazon affiliate. I'm required to tell you that. I'm an Amazon affiliate. So if I can figure out how to do the links, I will put them in the show notes for you to be able just to link up and go, because they do have scout bags on Amazon. You will love these bags. I guarantee you will enjoy those bags. So you've got your food bag packed, and you've got your emergency bag packed, and you've got your comfort items packed. So when you're packing your suitcase, as I said before, just make sure you're doing it when they're not aware of what you're doing, just to make their mind not get upset. This is what I did that I think was the most helpful for my brother. I got these large bags. These are 2.5-gallon bags. Now, I looked for the Ziploc ones that I actually used with my mom, and they don't make them anymore. I even called the company, why aren't you making these bags anymore? They're so useful. These are the bags that Ziploc has now. Well, this is a great value bag. They're not quite as large as this hefty bag. One's a 2-gallon one and one's a 2.5-gallon one, but either one will work. But I like the hefty ones. After I compared them, I like the hefty ones the best because it's got the zipper on the top. And I thought that's just a little bit easier getting in and out of than trying to make that little thing go together. This is going to make some noise. Okay, so what I did was I took these bags, and see, you can just write on the front. I took and I would put like Mom's pants, her top, and socks, always socks because their feet get cold. And I would put them in this bag like this. Let me see if I can get this in here. There we go. And then take and put, let me reach over here and grab this. You can take and put one of their pull-ups in here. I mean, this will fit too. If you want to put the whole day's worth while you're traveling in it, you could do that. But then you have this, and all my brother had to do in the mornings, or whenever whenever they got up and got going for the day, he pulled one of these bags out, and in it, he could just pull out that day's worth of clothing for my mom, and he didn't have to muddle through the suitcase and try and figure out what should she wear or anything like that. That just made his life a lot easier. And I think it's a great way to pack for yourself if you're just taking your loved one on even just an overnight stay. Just pack them in this. And in this also, I would put one of those bags just to put their pull-ups in when they're soiled, just to have everything as convenient and handy as possible. But honestly, these are a lifesaver just to do this. These bags are wonderful to have just for your day's clothing. Then you pack them in your suitcase. I always used like a soft suitcase that was wipeable if it was a short trip or a trip that was in the car, because I like soft luggage in cars better than I do hard luggage in cars. It just smushes in. I can smush more in the car actually. So that's why I like those. And then that just their toiletries and things, just a bag that's wipeable like this, to me is just always easier, just in case they get dirty when they're traveling with them. Okay, and then I told you about the motel, to make sure that you always tell the motel that your loved one has dementia. And let me tell you that story. I had sent Mom and Dale up to Canada. They were up there visiting for the summer. and either on the way there or on the way back, and I can't remember which time it was now because my brother didn't tell me about this until several days later because he was afraid I'd be upset at him. But he said they told him the next morning when they got ready to check out, they said, "Your mom came down here during the middle of the night." And they said, the attendant there said, "We just took her back up to the room and put her in the room and then just locked the door behind her." And I just was like, thank you, Lord. My brother felt bad, but you know what? It could have happened to me. He was exhausted. He was traveling with a mom that had mild cognitive disease, and he was trying to make sure that she was as safe as possible. But sometime during the night, Mom decided she wanted to go for a walk. And of course, she's in a place that she doesn't recognize, so she got lost. But she ended up down at the front desk, and so they were very kind and very good. They knew what room she was in. They were aware of what room she was in. And they just took her back, opened the door up, and put her in. And my brother had no idea. He didn't wake up when Mom was leaving, and he didn't wake up when she was coming back in. So that's why I say it's so very important to make sure that they know that your loved one has dementia. Because if that happens to you, you want them to know what's going on. I don't even know if he had told them that or if they could just tell by looking at Mom. But either way, I just felt like God was very merciful to us that day. And I wasn't upset at him. I'm like, it could happen to anybody. You are out there, loved one, you are out there taking care of the ones that you love the most. And you want to do the best for them. And things are still going to happen. Do not beat yourself up for that. Really, do not beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up for that. You do the best that you can. But that is why let the motels know what's going on with your loved one. I think that is the main things about traveling with your loved one if you are in a car. And this has run long enough. I think I'm going to do a second video on airplane travel. So I hope you join me for that one because that's where that really good tip is. So I'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. Have a great day. God bless you. Hi, I'm going to throw this on the end of the videos that I did today because I don't think I spoke the exact verbiage I'm supposed to. I am an Amazon associate, which means I have affiliate links in the show notes. And if you click on them and purchase something, I may receive a small commission. There, I think I said it right. Oh my goodness. Y'all have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye.